What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone had a legendary bye week. Of course, I got Jason in the green room waiting. We're going to go ahead and break down the bye week and kind of see where we're at going through the next 9 weeks of Niner football, or at least 9 weeks, we should say, hopefully more. But before we get started today, of course, we have to remind you to tune in to the end of the show to get your special coupon code to save 10% off of all For the Faithful, By the Faithful apparel, like our brand new Run CMC t-shirts. Go. Oop, that's next for Sunday. Save 10% by using our shop49er.com affiliate link and help out Niner Faithful Radio. Link will be in the description of the podcast and video. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio, all one word, to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Go ahead and follow us on social media. Jason does a bang-up job on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. To see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. And make sure you catch Jamie and Jason. NFR Weekly News Wrap will be back Friday at 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. And make sure to catch our game day shows that are back for Week 10. Niner Faithful pregame will be coming at you at 4 p.m. here on the West Coast. And then Jamie will be coming live at 9 p.m. on the West Coast. And then Jason will, of course, be live at halftime. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
All right. So go ahead, bring Jason onto the stream. I'm a little nervous about sharing the show. I ain't gonna lie. The last couple times I've tried to share the show, Facebook started tripping. So maybe
you can probably blame that for me. I got kicked off my main account again. It's probably me.
You know what? Honestly, bro, I'm really thinking about just pulling us from Facebook. I ain't gonna lie. Anyway,
yeah, but we get a lot of people on Facebook, though, man. That's
what makes it so funny. We get the most views from Facebook, as far as the show, by far. Facebook's our best platform. I haven't looked at the numbers in a while, but I believe if I had to bet my top dollar, I would say Facebook. We have the most followers on Facebook as far as social media. Facebook's
been popular.
Yeah, Facebook is NFR's biggest platform by far. Like it ain't even close, and which honestly is where we really focus our main efforts is on Instagram and Facebook. But Instagram was once you took over. My main efforts was always on Facebook. So anyway, that'll be for us to scuff off air. But what's up, bro? How was your bye week?
Boring. I was given a honey-do list. I had to do stuff around the house. You know how it goes. She knew I had nothing to do. She's like, "You got shit to do. Go get the house ready for winter."
Hey, yeah, no. I had to. I went and bought the missus or future missus a new phone for Christmas. So I went out and I basically got all her. She might be watching, so. But yeah. Anyway, I got all her Christmas presents basically.
And then I got to get ready for coming down there in a few weeks. So definitely some stuff for that.
Yeah. Make sure you tune in. I mean, pregame, halftime, shit. We probably will do postgame with Jamie. All that shit. I'm very excited. This is the first time I've ever been able to do a show with my co-host like next to me, bro. Like,
it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be an awesome time. I'm super looking forward to it. It'll
We'll
probably
put up
be
banners and
ahead of
make all
ours.
that stuff before it.
Yeah. I'm actually working on something right now behind the scenes. But it's taking longer though. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into the bye week news with you. Jason and I were discussing first a little bit of housekeeping. The Niners have opened up the practice windows for Azeez Al-Shaair, Colton McKivitz, and Elijah Mitchell. Awesome. I'm really excited to see Elijah's role now that it will clearly be reduced. He's not the feature back. So will he finally be able to stay healthy? Because a healthy Elijah Mitchell for the rest of this season, I mean, here, why don't we go ahead and start off by doing this? I went ahead and clipped from John Lynch's press conference. This is about the Jeff Wilson trade.
Yeah. So Miami, we've been, they reached out probably the first time, I don't know, a week ago, and just kind of conceptually talked about having interest in Jeff. Everything kind of went quiet, and we really, as Kyle has communicated with you guys, we were really not looking to move him. Jeff had communicated with us, and so, in a fashion that, of course, he loved it here, but he also is loving being an integral part of a football team. And once we did the Christian deal, kind of seeing Elijah close to returning, that, man, he wanted the opportunity to continue to be able to do that. And we assured him how much we valued him, but that if all those things came to fruition and there was a team, that was willing to give what we deemed the appropriate price, that we try to work with him. But also said, Jeff, you're too important to us. We believe we have the team to do it, and you're very important to that. And, Miami came hard probably, yesterday, but then, all the way down to this morning. Fifth is kind of where Kyle and I had it set, and they ended up giving it. And at that point, we felt like, as hard as it was, when I talked to Jeff to tell him, he was on the plane going back to Texas, pilot talking and all of that. And so you like doing these things in person, but that was the flow of the timing. And, at first Jeff was excited. He felt like Miami was a great spot, obviously knows Mike and the crew. And then the emotions hit him. And, I was able to share with him that, like, look, you're not only one of my favorite players that I've ever had the opportunity to be around, you're one of my favorite people. And I think Jeff feels the same way. Undrafted free agent who really has been a tremendous story here. His perseverance coming off countless injuries and playing the way he's played, and always got a smile on his face. He's a special player. So tough to do, but felt like the value, especially in light of what we gave to get Christian, was something that we couldn't pass up on. So we made the deal. Yeah. So Miami, we've been,
My bad. So I love John Lynch because he really does give long, detailed answers.
He likes to talk.
But
well, he would have been good on TV too. Or he was good on TV.
Yeah, I was going to say he was. Kind of almost like he talked a little bit for a living, right?
Yeah.
That's why everybody tells me, like, bro, you talk a lot. That's why I do it for a living. Anyway. I
mean, I think we all knew it was inevitable. Once we saw the Christian McCaffrey trade, we all knew it. I mean, it sucks, because just like what Lynch just said, Jeff Wilson was one of my favorite players on the team. I love the way he ran the ball, especially up the middle. I thought he was so underrated, especially between the tackles with how hard he ran. Better hands than he was given credit for. You could tell he worked a lot of that in the last year or so on the offseason, stuff like that. So, but I mean, he goes to a good fit. It's kind of cool that he's back in the backfield again with Raheem Mostert back there in Miami. So, nothing but wishes for him except on December 4th.
Yeah, that's really honestly, yeah. I will say my favorite moment, Jeff Wilson moment, which I was there for the game, happened in the end zone. Mama and Debbie and I were sitting in, is the 2019 Cardinal game. And him just and what I loved about him is that just the way he just went psycho after, that was like just pure his reaction. Like
Yeah.
that's just was natural how he was feeling it. And that's what I love. I love to see that passion of play and that just drive and that love, because that's what fuels me. And I love it that much and I care that much. And it really does feel better when the players care that much. But
I
also
think he
what
could be a number
I
one back on a lot of teams. Maybe not
yes.
every team, but I do
No.
think probably at least for half the league, he could be a solid number one.
Yeah, I really do think that, or definitely number two. I believe.
Oh,
I
easy
mean,
number two.
I shouldn't say this, so I want to say this delicately. But to my knowledge, I can't really think of many teams that wouldn't want him as a number two.
Oh no, there's not many.
I don't think the league is just that stacked with running backs right now that Jeff Wilson isn't a valuable running back. And I mean, I think you see that with the fifth. I mean, I drafted for a fifth round. Shoot that.
Yeah.
And honestly, well, let's be real. It's been the Niners' best. Well, Nick Bosa,
Lately.
really, honestly. But the fifth round is really, let's be real, that the fifth and later rounds is really where this team makes its hay.
Yeah. And good on Lynch for, he had enough, Wilson went up to him like, look, man, I know my role is going to diminish. I still want to play. Get me somewhere I can play. And, Lynch did. So, that's good on him for taking care of his players and stuff like that. So, I mean, that sets a good precedent for, other players who might be coming here, depending, maybe someone gets angry because, I'm sure you've heard all the rumors about OBJ. What if someone like Jennings all of a sudden gets, obviously it's a little too late with the trade deadline and whatnot, but, that same kind of a situation, can we, parlay that into like next year, so, I mean, it looks good for the organization overall.
It's definitely, look, I think it's very clear the Niners have built an organization that people want to come to. And that matters. That matters because, there's some teams that Nick Bosa ain't staying. Like it's just doesn't matter how much money you throw at him, he's just not staying. And the fact that, Nick Bosa will be a Niner for a very, 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 very long time, because if he walks, that's a fireable offense to me. Just straight up, you can't build an organization to lose players like Nick Bosa. That's just not sustainable. So, and yeah, I'm a little bit bitter about, what I had to go through on 2018. To get to be able to pick Nick Bosa number 2 overall. Anyway, and let's be real. Honestly, I will go on record saying this is I would have not traded. I would not, essentially what we would have been doing is trading Nick Bosa for OBJ. I'm not trading Nick Bosa for OBJ.
No, not in a million
So
years.
the Niners were right by not giving, because the rumor was we were going to give up 9.
Yeah.
That year we were going to give up 9, but they wanted 2, and we were like, hell no. Anyway, so I feel that let's break this down in 2 ways. Defensively, let's look at overall through the division. You and I were talking about it, and I think it's pretty obvious. I will play it again. I don't care. I mean, they're not a threat.
As they are right now, no, not even remotely. And I have a few Rams fans, and they're like, we're done. There's no way we can catch you and or Seattle right now at this point. But besides somebody just, falling apart.
So at this point, let me ask you the pressing question. Is anything less but a division title for this football team acceptable?
Yeah, get in the playoffs. I mean, yes, you want the division title, but you know how it goes. You just got to get in the playoffs. Like I said, I still think we will end up winning the division.
I do too.
But at the same time, if we get into the playoffs, just because, say Seattle ends up, keeping up their hot streak that they've got going right now, and they end up winning the division, we're still in a position right now. If the playoffs start today, we'd be the last seed, number 7, but we're still in the dance. So I mean, I think it needs to be, if we don't make the playoffs, is that an issue? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. That's when Jimmy Garoppolo was signed, when Jimmy Garoppolo was signed as our backup, that became the standard to me.
Yeah.
It's the only way that I wasn't accepting playoffs from this team was clearly going to be if Trey got hurt. But once Jimmy became once Jimmy became the backup, then yeah, I expected this team to be essentially playoffs or bust. I mean, so okay. Right now, the playoff standings are such: the Eagles are number 1, Vikings are number 2, Seahawks are number 3, Tampa Bay is number 4, Cry Girls are number 5, Giants are 6th, and we're 7th at 4-4. Honestly, the Vikings,
Vikings are looking good, man. They look good right now.
The Vikings here don't scare me as much as the Vikings. What do I think about the OBJ rumors? Okay, well, let's discuss this. I don't think so. I don't think so either. I think that, sure, would we love it? Yeah. I mean, we would love OBJ, but at what price? And to me,
it's not even the price. I don't want him. I'll take the talent, but I don't want him. He destroys every team that he goes to, except for, I mean, he came on with the Rams and everything, but look what he did in Cleveland. Look what he did with the Giants. We don't need that kind of. We don't need him. I truly don't think we need him. Yeah. And by the way, for Teresa's been showing up a lot on the Facebook, so thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. She went ahead and joined the NFR Facebook group too as well. Thank you so much, Teresa, for your support. We really do appreciate it. So, holla at me. I'll get you a 10% off discount code to NFR to our shop, or I'll give you 20%. Anyway, send me a message. So, to me, it's welcome. Love you guys. Thank you. We appreciate it. To me, it's so who is he taking the ball away from? Is he taking the ball away from Christian McCaffrey? No. Right? Because I mean, let's be real, we're a football team that wants to throw the ball, run the ball. So okay, you're not taking the ball away from Debo. Are you gonna take it over? Are you gonna take it over Brandon Ayuk?
If Ayuk wasn't on the roster, maybe, because then you could say, because if
but I'd rather have BA.
Jennings was number 2. Well, yeah, this play style I think is better with BA. But like say if Jennings was number 2 and Debo, kind of thing. Okay, then I'll give it to you, with an upgrade for OBJ. But when you have Brandon Ayuk sitting there, he's the quote unquote number 1 wide receiver with now the 1A and 1B wide back guys. I'll take, I'd much rather have that cohesion than throwing OBJ in there.
Which to me, I mean, I've had Brandon Ayuk my player to watch for multiple weeks.
He's been showing up.
He's, to me, what really has sold me on Brandon Ayuk is not necessarily his numbers, but when Graham, who by the way, big shout out to RSF Niners, they do a great job. I love Graham's little break. He just shows me there's just so many clips of him or Chapman or whoever else of just Brandon Ayuk just straight kicking ass. And the fact is, Brandon Ayuk is pretty much almost always open.
And I love how he finishes.
And what I love most about Brandon Ayuk is that it clearly, we all know, it's well documented, he was in Kyle's doghouse last year. You saw how Dante Pettis handled that. Dante Pettis no longer on the roster.
Yep.
Right? Brandon Ayuk, whether Kyle was right, you can speak however you want to speak. Brandon Ayuk responded the right way. It was clear. Whether he took it the right, whatever, he responded the right way. And that's what I love even more about it, because like you said, I mean, OBJ, you said it perfect, Jason. Want the talent, don't want him. right? It happens all the time in NFL. AB, perfect example. Perfect example.
I take
You
OBJ
know,
over AB.
I would take OBJ over AB as well, just because OBJ, I can handle OBJ, and I think we got the locker room to handle
AB's
OBJ
just
and
done.
everything. AB just is. I can't handle the sideshowness of it. You know what I'm saying? I can't handle you taking off your uniform and everything. I don't need all that, bro.
I still think he wasn't like this before that Vontae Burfict hit, and I think something you know the hit I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And the man has not been the same since that hit. So I think, you know, you can almost go back to that hit, like, Vontae Burfict fucked this man up mentally.
Which fine, okay, cool. Then NFL, what do you do? That even just off of PR, even off of a PR thing, then you can't have that in the NFL. Then you can't. If I believe that too. I honestly look. Speaking to AB, like I remember, I was real big on that AB when the George Kittle, all that was happening and everything like that. And then I watched the little documentary he did, and he just looked and he's like, bro, look at my house. He goes, look at me. He goes, I don't need football. And right there, I looked at him and I said, you know what? As a black man, I love to see that, bro. That's beautiful. You know, and everything like that. I said, because we see the consequences of playing football right before our eyes. Mm-hmm. But as a football player, nah. I only want people who love football on this football team. Yeah. I don't need somebody who does it just because, hey, I'm talented and it pays the bills. Because when it gets nitty gritty, you're gonna not want it. You know, you're gonna be. I'm about to say that Vernon Davis was like this, but it's funny after the Cam Chancellor hit how Vernon Davis mysteriously opened a Jamba Juice and he started buying art and started to be an artist. And you know what I'm saying?
He branched out really quickly.
Yeah, his heart wasn't all the way in it anymore. You feel me? And so, fine. Look, it'd probably take one hit. It'd probably take one just like average hit from Patrick Willis for me to take off my helmet and be like, I'm done. I'm done. This ain't for me. One of my group home staff who played on the same high school football team as Anquan Bolden, but Anquan Bolden was the quarterback for their team. He said that his job every year, his coach would take the freshmen trying to or just anybody trying to join the team for the first time, and he said they do an Oklahoma drill.
Oh, I love the Oklahoma drill. I love me the Oklahoma drill. They would do
basically an Oklahoma drill, and then coach would be like, all right, and he'd be like, coach would always say, if you're done, go ahead and, walk over there, take off your pads, take your pads, your helmet off, and just walk off the field. And he goes, and if not, you line up and do it again. And so, you just really test.
Every coach always was like, this is where you separate the boys from the men.
Yeah, you see somebody's want to. I love Eric Davis. Eric Davis, man, y'all know, Believe in 49er podcast. Like I speak gospel about it. Eric Davis always says, either you want to take a grown ass man to the ground, or either you want to or you don't. He says, he calls it want to. You know what I'm saying? Either you want to take a grown ass man to the ground or you don't. I mean, that's just the way I'll never forget my first, walk into football moment was, so this is this kid in my group home. He actually used to bully me, right? And he was like a year or two older than me. And our group home got us some football pads and everything, because they're like, all right, CJ wants to play football, we'll get him some pads. And so they said, line up. And Richard was just going crazy. I mean, he's hitting his head and just, psyching me out. And I was sitting there, I was like, I don't know if I want to, like that, right? And coach is like, look, group of staff are like, look, this is how you're gonna have to go up to, like, this is football, you want it or not? And I did it, and it was fine and everything like that. But yeah, it's a moment. So anyway, get back to Teresa's thing. I'm out with OBJ. I mean, they sign him, cool, awesome, we'll figure it out, blah 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 blah, whatever. But I don't think it's necessary.
Nah.
When if you're telling me that signing OBJ could cost us Jimmy Ward next year, which I believe Jimmy Ward's gone, but if you tell me that that's just no chance, I'm okay. I'd rather have Jimmy Ward than Odell this year.
I don't even want his dad. His dad used to do all that bitching and moaning about Baker Mayfield not getting him. It was like, look, it's not only that I don't want OBJ, I don't want his dad, because you know that shit just eats at people alive, kind of a thing. So
And it's just it's too much because there are going to be games that OBJ is not going to get the ball. It's going to be, hey, guess what? Christian McCaffrey is going to do something that no fucking running back's done in fucking since LaDainian Tomlinson. You know, Christian McCaffrey's going run CMC out this bitch. You're not getting the ball today. Or guess what? It's the 2019 NFC Championship game, and we're getting 6 yards a pop when we're running the football. Nobody's getting thrown the ball today.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle that? I don't. No, I'm okay. I believe what John Lynch said. I believe what Jason said. You get the Niners healthy and playing our best football going into the playoffs. Nobody's fucking with us.
That's why everybody, if you look at all these guys on like the national broadcast and all that, pretty much everybody has us listed as the scariest team, because while we have shown flashes of greatness here and there, kind of a thing, you know, between injuries and, you know, obviously with Jimmy to Trey, anything like that, you know, Mitchell, anything, everybody's been injured here or there. Everybody's coming back with this bye week. You know, we got all these people starting to come back. Now it's like, okay, now we stay healthy. Who's it to fear? Because who else? You don't really fear anybody in the NFC besides maybe the Eagles.
Yeah, that's to me. Yeah.
Yep. Right
So, yeah, I agree with you, Teresa. We do have enough talent. You and I have said that number one seed's gone. You know, and so that's the only team that puts a little bit of fear in me, just because that's going into Philadelphia. You know, that's dealing with
a rough
that
stadium.
animal. That's a rough state. I mean, I've had some real nightmares in them before. I'll never forget. Oh, I lost y'all for a second.
You're good now.
My bad. So I'll never forget the feeling of 2017. Joe Staley breaks his face. You know, we're what? It's the day before we traded for Jimmy. So what? We're 0-8 at that point, 0-7.
So, yeah.
Whatever we were, you know, 0-10, whatever, or 0-8, whatever we were, and just like this defeatedness I felt. You know, like it was just like, this is not how it's supposed to go. Like, I knew it was going to be rough, but this is not how it's supposed to go. Like, you know, type of situation. And so, yeah, but no other team at the Field of Jeans scares me. Minnesota would be tough in Minnesota, you know. Minnesota would be tough in Minnesota, but the Cry Girls don't scare me. Let's be real, we're gonna punk them.
Yeah, I've seen them. I mean, I would be worried about the Cowboys if they got OBJ. Because now with their wide receiver situation isn't looking too great. So if they got OBJ, then I'd be like, all right, now I'm gonna start paying a little bit more attention to you guys.
Because that defense is legit.
Michael Parsons is having a damn good years.
Played anyone but the Bills. I mean, and that's my thing too, is that, you know, honestly, something tells me that the Eagles might be one and done this year. The Eagles might be that team that's the number one seed, you know, or that's the 2 seed, you know, that has the bye week, that loses, you know, the first, like, i.e. the Whackers last year. You know, where it's just like, you haven't gotten punched in the mouth yet. You know, and what happens when you get punched in the mouth for the first time? And then again, and then again, and again, and again, and again. You know, have you really been in a dogfight with a team like us? Because we're bullies. You know, like we're not fake bullies where you're gonna punch us in the mouth and we're gonna fold. No, we're gonna take that punch and we're gonna swing back. You know, we're manly football team. All right, we're the bullies. So it's clear it's the tone set by Debo and Trent Williams, which I'm sorry, bro. Like, nobody wants a piece of Trent Williams. Nobody wants any of that.
Or you know, Debo, especially for Jalen Ramsey.
Oh man, Jalen, like he did not want any of that. Did you see Did you see somebody had put the Taco Bell ding when Debo actually
No, I
like
haven't
read
seen
the
that
word?
one.
Oh god, it was hilarious.
My favorite one was with the bull. Ole.
No,
That was my favorite one. I couldn't figure out how to post because it was on a closed account, so I couldn't take it. But it was just like Ole as you walk by Debo. They put horns on it. It was great.
oh man.
It was a good one.
Anyway, but yeah, so defensively, I think we're gonna be all right. I think going into the rest of the year, I mean, the schedule, it's just I don't want to be too arrogant, and I'm trying so hard not to be cocky, but I'm looking at this schedule, and we talked about it, we've been talking about it all year. But I mean, you got so many home games, Arizona and Mexico City. You got the Chargers, Arizona, Mexico City, the Saints, Dolphins, Bucks, all in 1 week. Yeah, the Thursday night in Seattle, it worries me because Thursdays
It's just
fluke
Thursday
things
night.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thursday night, and then that stadium fluke shit happens. Washington, the Raiders, and then Arizona again.
Hey, Washington ain't looking too bad though. With Tyler Heineke at quarterback, I've been saying before the whole trade thing with Jimmy, blah blah blah, was like 2020. I was like, hey, maybe we should take a look at Taylor Heineke. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he's got kind of quarterback. He's a lot like Brock Purdy, where he's not necessarily flashy in that thing, but he's going to play his heart out. He's got a better arm than average. He's got a pretty high IQ when it comes to quarterbacking. So I like, and their defense isn't too shabby either.
Well, I mean, fine. And you say, what if we said, what if they have an easy schedule? What if we always said all year long, you let teams stick around? What happened with the Bears? We let them stick around. What happened with the
Broncos?
The Broncos let them stick around. You kick field goals and not touchdowns. So yeah, I'm trying to be optimistic and say, hey, we're going to get it together, because like, I think what you're talking about with the analyst is what they said is, hey, when this team clicks, when it clicks and you start to see, because we've seen what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like. And it's the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful things I've seen on a football field. So when this team clicks, Shanahan's teams play better in December. Running football teams, running the ball is how you win on the playoffs, especially if you're going on the road. That's how you win in the playoffs. Defense, running game, and special teams, which special teams significantly better, minus some block field goals, which have all happened on short distance. So what does that say? Score the touchdown. That's how I handle that. If I'm Kyle, I'm not pitching at fucking the special teams coordinator. I'm pitching at the offense saying, hey, you know what? Well, they've all been in places where honestly we should be scoring touchdowns. So
is that my camera that's glitching out like that?
I don't know if it's mine or yours, or let me see.
TJ's gone.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay, you're just okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm testing the camera, seeing if it's
okay.
We are having a storm here, so that was what it could be.
You know what? I forgot it is storming pretty bad here, so that might be it for me.
Yeah,
too. So I forgot it's pretty bad outside.
Anyway, if we go out, then we'll go ahead and end it. But it's just that's my main stat. That's my main stat is touchdowns, not field goals. Touchdowns, not field goals. I don't see a way we don't get to my 12-5. Honestly, I think that's fully in the cards, considering what this football team was in the beginning of the season and now only gotten better. And people say, oh, well, we only made one trade, receiving one player. Yeah, but you're getting Elijah Mitchell, you're getting Azeez Al-Shaair, you're getting Dre Greenlaw, you're getting Juice. Debo's had a week to recover. Javarius Ward's had a week to recover.
Jason Verrett, Juan Jennings.
Jason Verrett. So you're getting all those players back. That's like a trade. And so healthy and clicking, I don't see a team fucking with my football team in the NFC. We could talk about the AFC and look, I
Yeah,
would
it's all
love to
different
have to
beats.
worry. I would love to have to worry about playing the Bills or the Chiefs again in the playoffs. I would absolutely love that. Please bring on that problem. I want that
At
smoke.
least the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. That means if we're playing the Bills or any team in the AFC in the playoffs, we're in the Super Bowl. I want that smoke. Bring that.
Yeah.
You know, but there's no team in the NFC when we're clicking, playing the type of defense that we've seen that we're going to be able to play, and I would assume continues, minus some spots here and there. It's the offense. Score touchdowns, not field goals. I don't see a team fucking with us. Jason, your thoughts?
I agree with all of that. The one issue that I see us possibly running into is a team that's really good up the middle running the ball, because without Armstead and or Kinlaw in there right now, we're not getting the push we were the first few weeks of the season. And so, yes, we're still getting pretty good pressure on the outside because Bosa's just Bosa. So, I mean, so that's my only concern would be up the middle on the defense. Can somebody get a sustained hard running game going up the middle constantly with whoever we have up there? Not that we're doing terrible. It's not that they're doing bad, but we're obviously not at the par we were with Kinlaw and Armstead.
He said that wouldn't have it easy winning the NFC Championship game. You see, that to me, real quick, I'll get to you in a second, Teresa. Yeah, I agree. Or these wide receiver jet sweeps. The Harmon touchdown, the touchdowns against Kansas City killed us on this. The Yams were killing us on it yet last week. I don't know why they went away from it. So there are ways to expose this defense that is concerning. Yeah, Eric Armstead not being here, yeah, that is a concern. So I'm saying that assuming that he'll be back at some point this season. I mean, last time I heard he's expected to be at practice. I'm trying to find the injury report. I haven't seen anything either. I'm trying to find injury.
All I can find is yesterday's stuff. I couldn't find anything for actually today.
Okay, so Kyle will be going live tomorrow. So we have, but I mean, get to Reese's point. I mean, the Eagles have an easy schedule. Niners will win the NFC Championship. See, I believe that it's possible. If the Niners go in and punch the Eagles in the mouth and they fold, Niners are walking away with it. But if they swing back, they have a chance. I mean, we cannot deny, regardless of not playing anybody, whatever it is, that they're a good football team.
Jalen Hurts is having an amazing season.
And he's a what? Dual quarterback. What do dual quarterbacks do to this defense?
Tear it apart at times.
I mean, now, mind you, it's probably, if we're talking, late January, mid-January in Philadelphia, it's going to be snowing. So,
yeah. Or at least freezing cold at the minimum.
Yeah. So it's going to be a different ball game. But yeah, if the NFC Championship is at the Field of Jeans, I mean, I'll take the Niners since no team's literally beaten us there in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's really the only team that scares me at home. Going into Minnesota, a dome. Domes are always weird. But you there, Jason?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's
Let me try to replug. Let me see. I gotta try one thing.
All right. We'll have Jason do that. If we can't get Jason back, we'll probably go ahead and end it. But stormy weather. But yeah, Teresa, I fully agree with you in the sense that
it's
done.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna let me back in because it's not coming back when there shouldn't be no reason for it. I don't care. We can.
All right.
We'll talk.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right. We'll do it this way. All right. So, but yeah. So, I asked Jason the question off air. Are the Sheetcocks legit? Because this is run down that schedule for the listeners.
Just,
The Chicago schedule.
oh, of course you asked for it now after I put it away. Let's
Brad.
see. So they have next. They've got the Bucks, and then the Raiders, and then the Rams, Panthers, us, Chiefs, Jets, Rams.
I mean, that's not a world-beating schedule.
No,
So that to me is that Thursday night game becomes huge
yeah.
because
Like you
I
said
could easily
earlier,
see
that
us-
comes down to seeding for the season.
yeah, and to me that to me decides the division in the sense that I could easily see us getting the same record. I don't think they'll have a better record than us. Just because I mean they still got, like you said, they still got the Chiefs on that. You know, you've got the Jets, which aren't necessarily, you know, a bottom feeder. So it's not, I don't think they'll get a better record than us. But I'd hate to see that Bears loss. I'd hate to see the common schedule. Since they're in the division, they play all but 1 or 2 games different than us. I think no, it's 3 games. It's 3 games they play different than us. I'd hate to see that Bears loss come back and bite us in the ass, or that Broncos loss. Oh well, they lost to the Broncos as well, but
still, they didn't go to point differential or whatever it is.
Yeah, like it's just I'd hate to see some fluke shit like that, and that's the only loss that we get in the division. I mean, how shitty would that be? You only lose 1 game in the division. It's Thursday night in Seattle, you know, and that freaking cost us the division. Because I think they're a playoff team. Now I don't think they're going to make any noise because I think you're going to play some big boys that don't necessarily, you know, you're not going to be playing a lot of Broncos and a lot of, you know. So I don't see them making noise. But I think they're a legit playoff team.
Yeah,
but to me, they're the only threat in the division. They're legit. The Cardinals are getting a better record than us. You could say what you want about Mexico City. You know, we'll see how that comes in a couple weeks. But
which is a home game. Let's be honest, that's going to be a home game, guaranteed.
I mean, that's going to be a home game.
I don't know why. When I think Mexico, I think 49ers, but for some reason, I just see that as a home game for us more than it is for, you know, Cardinals.
Well, I mean, let's be real, Brett. Why are you a fan? And why are you a fan of the 49ers? 1 or 2 reasons. Winning. That's just you can say what you're winning. The fact is that, you know what? I think it has to do with a lot of the Hispanic culture in the Bay Area.
Yeah, true.
Say what you want. So I mean that has a lot to do with it. Winning. I mean, you know, think about the big winning brands: Whackers, Niners, Patriots, Steelers. What would you think are probably the biggest international teams? Whackers, you know. So, but week 18, when let's be real, the Cardinals aren't going to have anything to play with that last game of the year.
Yeah. Unless they do it, it's like their Super Bowl kind of a thing.
Yeah, but to me, I have a feeling that it's not only going to get bad there. I have a feeling it's going to get ugly. I think Cliff Kingsbury is going to get fired. I do. I think it's going to get real ugly in there, in Arizona.
I could see,
which
you know.
Typical Cardinal fashion, you know, things collapse. So, yeah. So to me, the Seahawks are really the only threat in the division. And to me, fine. You know, I know you saw it last year. You know, we won 3 road playoff games. Or 2. Yeah, sorry, two road playoff games. But you also seen us. You've also seen us run out of gas. Damn, this nigga went and changed his fucking. That hella distracted me, bro. Hey, I mean, might as well. I love it. You gotta send me that shit. Anyway,
send it to
but yeah, you gotta send me that shit. That's dope. Anyway, but so damn, I totally forgot what I was saying.
I didn't think it was gonna distract you that much.
No, it just threw me off because I was just seeing all I'm seeing is this Niner logo give me the bird and shit. And I'm just like, what? Anyway,
That's rude.
Yeah, right. And it was just like bright red. It was just not like that a second. I mean, it was like this. Wait. Okay, it's not gonna do it on mine. But anyway, so you also saw us run out of gas last year. So you give the Niners a home game, then yeah, I legitimately think that we can win 2 road playoff games. You give us 2 home games. If you tell me the NFC Championship game, okay, now you're just fucking with me, bro. If you tell me the Niners only have to play the NFC Championship game on the road, I mean, I understand we only won 2 in NFC, in team history, but I'll take the Niners' chances.
Oh yeah, especially like I said, especially the way this team is built, cold weather games, running the ball, all that good stuff. Yeah, it's definitely going to be something that will help tip it into our favor on the road somewhere.
So the formula is there for us to win. Now, I don't think pretty much no matter what, I'm not going to say that the fire Kyle at the end of the year, but I will say that there's some. If this thing doesn't go the way we're planning, and I'm not saying winning the Super Bowl, but I mean if you don't see this team start to click and just like I keep on going back to that quote, does this team look like a well-coached football team? And we just keep on looking at it and saying, fine, we're winning because we're better, or we're winning by fluke shit, but we just don't look like a well-coached football team. I'm definitely putting Kyle on the hot seat at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I don't think it's crazy.
Look like we're coached very well, though. You know what I mean? It's not like the wheels haven't fallen off. We just ran into Kansas City is just, they're Kansas City. They had a good night. Against the Bears, we fucking played in a monsoon. The only game you could say where we weren't quote unquote coached very well, to me, would be like the Falcons or the
Denver.
The Denver. But with Denver, it's like you almost get a pass simply because that was Jimmy's first game back. I jumped the gun a little bit hard on him and all that, but that was the man's first game. He had like no practice, all that kind of stuff. So other than that, you're only looking at the Falcons games to where it looked like we just severely were out-coached for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be fair in saying that there are some issues. Now, I've seen it work too many times. I mean, I've seen it work 2 out of the last 3 years, which 2020, we all admit, was injured. You just can't have the players that we had in injured reserve and function. And I mean, legitly, we were up into the Buffalo game. I think we're officially alive in the playoffs.
Yeah, we were treading water for a hell when we shouldn't have been.
Yeah, and so I do believe, and also having pretty much all but Chris Foerster being our only returning offensive coach, I will give Kyle some credit on that. I think one underestimated thing with Jimmy is that I'd be mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken, but the first time Jimmy had to meet, to my knowledge, Brian Griese was probably his first practice.
They might have said hi somewhere in the hallway. Maybe,
that's what I'm saying.
He didn't have any actual interaction with him coaching wise.
Yeah. every time he was interviewed or spoke, it was like, no, I have not met Jimmy. I have not spoken to Jimmy. Now maybe that's all bullshit. And Jimmy didn't have a playbook until I believe it was his first practice, which, I mean, let's be real, he probably doesn't need one. But so there are a lot of circumstances in the first half that maybe we do overlook. But I mean, we're 8 games in. We're essentially halfway through the season. At the first half, at halftime, we'll be officially through halfway of the season. It's time to start seeing the reasons we believe bringing Jimmy Garoppolo back as our backup quarterback. It's time to start seeing those things come to fruition. And I believe they will. I believe Christian McCaffrey, even though Kyle tried to undersell it, I do believe that has the potential to be what pushes us over the edge. Because if we could just get simple, if we could stop hurting ourselves, Jason, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's just too much fucking talent on this offense not to be productive.
Well, isn't that what Brandon Ayuk said in the interview after the Kansas City? Like, there's way too much talent on this team that only been scoring, 20 points a game. So, I mean, we have the actual players on the team saying those exact same words.
So
there you go.
And I think what you saw in the Yams game is, you saw Christian McCaffrey. You and I both came on the air last week and said, without Christian McCaffrey, we probably lose that ball game last week. But that's because you were without Debo as well. So let's be real, you would have had Kittle and Brandon Ayuk out there. It's just there's too much talent to not be productive. I'm not saying winning shootouts. I'm not saying going out there and throwing the ball 40 times a game. Hold on. Let me go ahead and look this up right now. Jimmy, 210 attempts over 7 games? So 210 attempts divided by 7. That's 30 times a game. That needs to come down. Jimmy does not need to be throwing the ball 30 times a game.
No, but if you looked at it, though, yes, this team is a built for run, but the pass game so far this year has been hella efficient. Yeah, it's, there's been a couple of throws here and there and all that kind of stuff, but for the most part, this passing game has been pinpoint accurate and the one that's been driving this offense more than the actual running game has been this year.
Yeah, the running game has been the struggle.
Christian McCaffrey, so.
But, I mean, this is my thing about it. It's 11 touchdowns. I believe it's, what did we say? 3 picks that Jimmy had? 3 or 4 picks? What? So Jimmy, he's not passing the eye test as much, but the stats aren't horrible. 66.7% completion percentage, right? So I'll take Jimmy completing that's 12 out of 20.
Well, this is the Jimmy that we've been wanting since 2019. You know what I mean? And yes, there's the injuries and lack of this, but there's been times where it's just like, because we've heard him say a couple of times now that, just the last few years, he has not been healthy. Maybe it's just he's finally back to the point where he actually is healthy 100%. And we have the Jimmy that we've been wanting for the last 3 years back finally.
I'll say this. Most people say it takes a full year, and then the next year you're back after an ACL. So let's break it down. 2018, Jimmy tears his ACL. So the first full year Jimmy would have been healthy was 2020. Well, we all know it was 8 games Jimmy ended up playing.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 games Jimmy ends up playing in 2020. 2021, we all know the story. He gets hurt, gets pulled during the Miami game, hurts his shoulder, then it's the thumb, then it's everything else. So it would not surprise me. This is the first time Jimmy's like, yeah, I've been pretty healthy.
Yeah, like, I finally feel good for a change.
I finally feel good for a change. And the one thing I've always loved about bringing Jimmy back is I love a person who bets on themselves. And so when you back somebody in the corner, and say what you want, we all say Jimmy Garoppolo lives a great life, but you kind of don't want that to end. And Jimmy probably figures he's got one more contract in him. So if I essentially got one more shot at making myself comfortable, my future kids, my future wife, myself, my family, my brothers, whatever it is, I'm going to give it my best shot. And what do they always say? Contract year. And that's essentially what we're getting for Jimmy. And Steve Young had a famous quote for when talking about when Bill Walsh brought him in. And he said, you know what? I bet you he thought is that he would get the best out of Steve Young and he'd get the best out of Joe Montana. And I'll be damned if he probably did.
Oh, yeah.
And so what have we said? We're probably going to get the best out of Trey Lance and the best out of Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, it obviously didn't turn out the way we thought with Trey getting hurt. But, yeah, you know what? I would believe this is probably the best Jimmy Garoppolo we get, or at least the closest to what we thought we were going to get in 2017.
Yeah.
Those 5 games, this is probably the closest we're going to get to what we thought we were going to get in those 5 games in 2017. And I'm for it. Because let's be real, this is a dangerous football team on paper. So it's time for it to stop being on paper, and it's time to put it together, because I don't see more than 1, maybe 2 losses, because like you said, Washington, this is their, Arizona, this is their Super Bowl, something like that happening, sure. But you start talking about 3 losses, coming into these last 9 games, 3-4 losses. I mean, that starts to pile up a little bit.
Yeah, then you start worrying about actually getting in because of other teams and, placement and all that kind of stuff.
Records, we're going to be losing to some NFC teams.
Yep.
That conference records going to start coming into play.
That is true.
So, I mean, what are we in the conference? Hold on. Let me go ahead and standings. Here we go.
What, 3-3?
Conference, we are 4-2. 4-2 in the conference. So what? I mean, it's only Miami, San Diego, and that's it, right? That are left on. Oh, and Vegas. So only 3 more games left in the NFC. So the rest of 6 games against the 6
I
games
forgot we're
against
playing
the
Vegas.
NFC. Yeah, that I ain't gonna lie. I kind of wish my mom didn't live in Denver, because if my mom didn't live in Denver, I'd be going to Vegas on New Year's. That would be
Look,
the
you
game.
know we're taking over that stadium too, right? I mean, it's
Oh,
I think it's a foregone conclusion. We're taking over that stadium too. It doesn't help yet that the Raiders this year are just terrible. So I mean, that's going to help.
This, to me, this game will tell me outside the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? Because this is gonna tell me 2 things. One, how much real Raider fans you have in the Bay Area, right? Who even are just gonna say, hey, if I only go to 1 game this year, it'll be against the fucking Niners, right? And truly, how much they consider it a rivalry just within Vegas, whatever you consider Raider Nation.
Yeah.
Whatever you consider, how much of a rivalry is this really? Because if we and we don't get along when we play, I mean, trust me, I know plenty of them. Like I would be surprised if my boy Raul is down there. So I know there are Raider fans in the Bay, and I do expect majority of Raider fans are like, hey, if I'm going to, when the schedule came out, I'm going to a game in Vegas. It's going to be Niners Raiders. Like, I would just
I mean,
that's
if I was
going to
if I was
happen.
a Raider fan, that'd be the one I'd want to go to.
Ditto.
One, it's Vegas. Two, it's going against your rival. So yeah, that's definitely the one I'd be showing up to.
I mean, because this is very unique because even in when they were in LA, the rivalry's always been a California thing because
Yeah.
they've either been in LA or they've either been in Oakland. So it was either a Bay thing or it was a NorCal SoCal thing. So
Because it kind of
that's why it's
disappeared when
always
they went to St. Louis.
the Raiders never went to St.
Or
Louis. That
for
was
some
the,
reason, I'm thinking of the Rams. My bad. I don't know why I was thinking Rams.
yeah, you know what? I would truly say that I really
It
I've
died off
always
when they went
kind
to
of,
St. Louis.
I've always kind of hated the Yams, but that was more just because of '99, and so, but yeah, I mean, it's deeper, NorCal, SoCal, but that's to me because I will tell you this, that I will say this: most of the Raider fans that are going to be in Vegas, I would bet, are going to be from the Bay Area and
Oh yeah,
LA.
I put my,
Yeah, most of them are going to be from California. So how much of a stronghold do Raider fans really have in Vegas? Because there's no way we should take over that stadium. If it's Niner Raiders, like it really, I personally know it. Growing up here, there's no way we should take over that stadium.
I wonder how many season ticket holders they have that are actually from Vegas versus how many are like from
Very
from
true.
Oakland or LA or something like that. You know what I mean? Just California.
I would think a ton from LA. LA apparently is only like an hour drive from Vegas.
Yeah. So
So
I mean,
could
I bet
imagine,
you there's a huge portion of it that's from California versus. In fact,
Like-
I'd put money there's more than Vegas fans that have season ticket holders.
I guarantee you Ice Cube has season tickets.
Oh yeah, probably yeah.
I guarantee that. I bet
But then again,
you
Ice
that's what
Cube
it
can
is.
afford tickets.
That well, true. Ice Cube can afford. I mean, shit. Let's be real. Ice Cube might even have club seats. Let's be real.
Probably.
I wouldn't say luxury seats. That might be a little too much, but definitely club seats.
Why wouldn't he have luxury
definitely.
seats? This is Ice Cube we're talking about.
I mean, hey, cool, awesome. God bless you.
Oh, let's see what his net worth is.
Yeah, what is Ice Cube's net worth? Because I respect Ice Cube, and he really is one of the OGs of West Coast rap. Like,
My brother
can't
is
be a
worth
fan-
$160 million seat.
Okay, yeah,
he's got luxury seats.
You know what?
And how much
also
of that is
he's-
just sitting on interest? He's good.
Well, that and also the fact, I mean, Ice Cube is kind of like I mean, kind of the image of a Raider. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Ice Cube
Yeah.
very famously knows, always wears a Raider hat. Like,
Like who else is going to be a top Raider fan? I can't name one.
I would say he's probably, like, without being like a celebrity, fan celebrity, he's probably the biggest celebrity fan. Like, there's a difference. Fan celebrity, somebody like the Banjo Man or 49er
Yeah.
or they got, I think he's called Rilla Zoe or something like that. I forget the Gorilla Raider dude. But those are fan celebrities. I'm talking about celebrities who are fan. Ice Cube's probably got to be the biggest Raider fan that's
I can't think of
celebrity
another
Raider
one.
fan. Oh, I mean, let's see. Snoop's
Snoop
Steelers
don't
fan.
count. Snoop is a fan of everybody.
No, Snoop's legitly, if you put a gun to Snoop Dogg's head, Snoop was the Steelers fan.
See, like,
But
I don't believe
that's
it
more
was
like his
Snoop.
hidden. But yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
can't
find
really even
Top
I can't even
celebrities
really
or
think of
Oakland
him.
Raider fans.
I can't think of anybody.
Tiger Woods. What?
Tiger Woods is a Raider fan?
Hey, that's what I'm saying. I didn't.
I mean, it makes sense. He went to the school. I don't know where he's from,
Well,
but he went
there's
to school
CC
in the Bay.
Sabathia, but obviously Ice Cube.
I mean, okay, CC back.
MC
Wait,
Hammer? Yeah,
well,
yeah.
he's from Oakland.
Yes, I'm saying, yeah, that makes sense now. Think
See,
about
that doesn't like. See, is that like?
Carlos
like,
Santana.
but really,
Carlos
to ask-
Santana.
I'll have to ask Jose about that. Because
Tom
Jose's
Tom
he's from
Hanks is from the
Alameda.
Bay.
He's from
Yeah, he
Alameda.
is from.
That's the East Bay. So like, see, to me, but see, when you close your eyes and you think of Tom Hanks, do you think Raider fan?
I just don't think anything with I think
Like
Forrest Gump.
to me, I close my eyes and I imagine Ice Cube with the Raider hat on.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like me, you would know I'm a Niner fan. Like if I become a celebrity, it's gonna be very clear. Like I'm a Niner fan. There's no like, or I didn't know he was a Niner. No, you're gonna know I'm a Niner, bro. I got a tattoo. Like let's be real. Like Tom Hanks, I feel Tom Hanks, I feels like, yeah, I'm from the East Bay, so I'm a Raider fan. MC Hammers, I feel like I'm from Oakland, so I'm a Raider fan. Like MC Hammers from Oakland.
James
So
Hetfield?
like that's yet again from LA and Oakland.
Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio.
But legit, I will say this. Legitly, I don't know so much about Raiders because I don't necessarily follow Raider fan base and like their shows and everything like that. But legitly, Metallica are legit Giants fans and they are legit Shark fans.
Yeah, they are.
Because
I've seen them at all their events.
Yeah, they go to hella Giants. They've had Metallica night and everything. Like the Sharks come out of the Shark Head. They skate out to Seek and Destroy.
Look at the colors of Metallica. It's black and silver. Silver and black. So it makes sense.
Yeah, so sure, I wouldn't surprise me, but but to credit,
yeah, but we got that three. So we're just talking about who's just for the I couldn't think of anybody besides Ice Cube.
First of all, I will say this. I respect the OG 40. What? Okay, I grew up on E40. E40, one of the biggest influences in my life is from a song from E40 and Too Short. It's called Players Ball. And he says, sometimes it's cool to floss, but don't buy an $80,000 car before you buy a house. That's like one of the biggest influences I've had. I remember watching an interview when I was a kid of E40, and he said, my parents always told me, no matter what you do, own a piece of this earth. And that's just always stuck in my head. So I respect the OG 40. When I was a kid, that song 40 Water, I used to think he said timer, 49er. That's what I swore when I was a kid. But 40 has been seen in music videos wearing Raider gear. And I bet you if you put a gun to 40's head, he'll tell you he's a Bay Area fan. I bet. Because he's the ambassador of the Bay. I bet. Now, sure, like he is a Niner fan. You feel me? Like 40, I've seen plenty of videos. He's wearing Niner jackets, Niner hats, but you do catch videos of 40 wearing Raider gear. I'm just saying.
You could be right, though. I mean, he might, like you said, he just might be a Bay Area fan.
No,
I have to go back and look now.
No, I know this. I believe you.
I'm saying I can't.
And people put out when Bang Bang Niner game came out. There were people of I think it's the music video for My Shit Bang. He's wearing a Raider hat. Here, I'll pull it up right now. Hold on, let me see. E40 RAID Raider hat. And I don't even know how to spell Raider. That's how much I fucking talk shit. Let me see. Now I'm just getting a bunch of now I'm just getting a bunch of fucking Raider hats. I'm not even getting pictures of E40. Yeah, see? So let me pull it up right now. Damn, they just had it. Where'd it go? Where the hell did it go? They just had it. But yeah, it's a music video. I swear to God, it's a music video. I think it's My Shit Bang. Here, you know what? This is probably horrible on the podcast, but I'm gonna go ahead and mute it so we don't get a strike.
I'm seeing the pictures. I see them now.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta mute it. My bad, y'all. And we gotta go through the ad. So let me see. Let me share the screen. Okay, where is it? Settings. They changed the freaking. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Window. Okay. Okay, hold on. Where is it at? Oh. Okay. So did y'all see it? Right
Yeah.
there.
There's nothing on the screen, brother.
Hold on. Okay, so my bad. Where is it? Entire screen. Share. Window, Chrome, share. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Share. Now y'all see it?
Oh yeah, okay, I see it now. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So and there's been others. So I mean, whatever. I'm not here trying to start, you know. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We're sitting here talking about E40 on fucking. Anyway, all right, Jason, final thoughts.
It's a good bye week. Like I said, I'm looking forward to getting everybody back. I don't like Sunday night games. That means we gotta wait around all day before we play. And it's just plus I get up so damn early for work, so I'm gonna be tired as shit Monday. But yeah, definitely excited. We finally get back to some football that I actually want to watch Sunday night. I like that we got the next two games are going to be prime time games. So definitely,
Woo-wee!
I know, like I said, good back to back games for us.
I like it. Monday night, Sunday night.
So
Monday night.
one thing I liked about looking up the stuff for the against the Chargers, they have the worst defense against the run. They average like 5.71 yards a game, or excuse
Stealing
me, a
from my
carry.
pregame show. Stealing from my pregame show.
Hey man, it's public knowledge though. Keep bringing it up. Like I said, so think of it like we've been talking about and beating it to death. This is a running team oriented offense. It's definitely something we can ground and pound all night long. Hopefully, and they just lost their top defensive tackle, Austin something I believe his name is. So he won't be there. So hopefully that number goes up even higher. And yeah, I can't wait to see it.
It's definitely going to shape out to be we want to run the football, especially with Christian McCaffrey, our new toy. They suck at running the football.
And we got our old toy and Elijah Mitchell back.
Oh, that's going to be, I'm so excited for the 1-2 punch of Elijah and Run CMC. All right, y'all. All right, bro. Well, he said no, but I respect that 50-50. All right.
It's E40. E40 is an OG, man. You can't, it's like with Snoop going around with every team, man. These guys are OGs, man. Just take them with where they're
at. Thank you so much, Teresa. You stay safe and blessed as well. Look,
thank you very much.
I wanted to make it very clear. I'm an E40 fan. I'm in no way trying to please anybody who knows please. I'm not trying to disrespect the OG. I am not. In any way, I do not want any smoke from E40. I do have nothing but love for the brother. I slap his music all the time. He's been a huge influence on my life, but I got to call it how I see it. Nigga has a Roto Raider hat before. Anyway, all right, we shall see y'all next week. See you next week, bro.
Deuces.
All right, so, man, we don't. I hope y'all are entertained. I mean, we have a blast doing this. I hope y'all are entertained. I want to play it again.
Same old sorry ass man. So long.
I love playing that. Like I just don't get enough. All right. So this week's promo code for 10% off of For the Faithful by the Faithful apparel is BLA. Coupon expires at midnight. November, I almost said October. November 15th, 2022. Excludes any on sale items. Go ahead and help out Niner Faithful Radio and save 10% by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link. Link will be in the description of this video or podcast. Go to cgiant.com, use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. To see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. Make sure you catch Jamie and Jason on NFR Weekly News Wrap Friday, 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. And go ahead and catch all our Week 10 game day shows. Pregame coming at you at 4 p.m. Halftime will be at halftime, and Jamie will be coming live at 9 p.m. for postgame. I shall see y'all Sunday at 4 p.m. for the postgame. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
You are now listening to Niner Faithful Radio, the show for the faithful, by the faithful.
See ya.